Hi guys, I'm Asher. Today's video will be about a couple of short stories. The first one will be about a scene where Belle's mom, Meteria, has a peculiar chat with her sister Alfia about different topics. The second one will be about a funny scene where Hestia tries to take advantage of Belle's naivety. By the way, as a precaution, I have created a secondary channel, so please subscribe to that channel as well. Also, if you like my videos and want to help the channel, you can do it on Patreon or by becoming a member here on YouTube. The links will be in the description. But well, without anything else to say, let's get started. Hey, Alfia. If, really just what if? She always liked talking about if, circumstances. Her sick, weak, far from endowed thin body shook countlessly from her coughs. Even if she sometimes started coughing up blood, she would still talk about what if, possibilities that would most likely never come to pass. Her hair swayed slightly, its color looked as that of a beautiful virgin snow, much whiter than Alfia's gray hair. Like a shine from a pearl laying peacefully at the bottom of the sea, her pure blue eyes glistened in hope. Although it was just a fleeting hope, as if she always kept smiling. So, as ridiculous as the situation was, Alfia could not bring herself to walk away from her bedside, and would listen to the words of her other half to the end. So, if you had a child, what would you name it? Huh? Hey, wait, what do you mean? Ha! Only this time was different. How would you say it? It seems way more specific than normal hypothetical questions that she would ask her opinion on. And not to mention Alfia knew about that guy. So despite Alfia's own rule that she kept to herself about being silent and listening, she couldn't help but to corner her little twin sister. I told you, it's only, what if? Only what if? Okay? It's not like I did something weird or anything. As they were twins, their appearances were like two peas in a pod. However, while Meteria's expressions were very lively and expressive, Alfia's expression was deadly serious. Meteria avoided her eyes while whistling nonchalantly, in a terrible attempt to keep a secret from her sister's gaze. Alfia was completely silent and reached her hand out to touch her little sister's belly, to confirm if she was pregnant, but... Hey! I told you, I didn't do anything weird. Meteria said, desperately trying to prevent her from touching her. However, her resistance was weaker than that of a child. If that scumbag touched you, I'll crush not only him but that perverted old man's entire familia. I told you, everything's fine. He's a little perverted, and can be a bit immature sometimes, but he's not that kind of person. He wouldn't have the balls to do something like that. Meteria's face started turning red as she spoke, and she started to bite her bottom lip as she finished her sentence. Alfia's eyes remained closed, but she was in shock from hearing her beloved little sister say, he wouldn't have the balls. And decided at that moment to use gospel on that perverted old god for filling her sister's mind with weird knowledge. That's beside the point. Anyway, about naming a baby. If you had a baby, what would you name it? Alfia bit her lips at her little sister's desperate attempt to change the topic. I don't like kids. They always look at me like I'm a monster or something. Alfia felt guilty, but she couldn't help but to be honest. Her twin sister paused for a moment, but then smiled softly. You actually love children, don't you, Alfia? You don't want them to be afraid of you, so you just avoid trying to like them, but you, from a faraway place, hope for their happiness. A very sad love. I think so. Anyway. This time Alfia hesitated in her response. It was always like this with Alfia's little sister, weaker than anyone else, less fortunate than anyone, she would soothe the hearts of others with a kindness greater than anyone. At any time, at any place. Just like now. Really just if I had a child, whether it's a boy or a girl, I would name it Bell. The same name as the sound of a bell from Alfia's magic. The cursed gospel that the witch detested. Meteria spoke as if the magic that Alfia always considered a miserable noise was like a treasure to her. Do whatever you want. A small sound of a bell rang in her heart. Alfia had that feeling, and she believed it to be true. A grumble arose from Hestia's chest. They were at home and it was just before bedtime. With a piercing gaze, the goddess stared intently at the back of the white-haired boy's head. I want a lap pillow. As Bell noticed her gaze and tilted his head, Hestia only continued to stare at him. The concern that swirled deep down in her mind was, have I fallen behind the sword princess? That apprehension had been growing by the day since she learned of the secret date between Bell and Eyes. She didn't know why she cared so much about the lap pillow, she could only say it was a hunch, or her godly intuition which can't be fooled. But, with crossed arms and blushed cheeks, Hestia continued to stare at Bell. How should she put it? Bell, give me a lap pillow. Was out of the question, she had the dignity of a goddess after all. On top of that, it was just embarrassing. Unless, there was something she could use as an excuse. Hestia was agonizing, but suddenly, her twin tails twitched as if she had had divine inspiration. Bell-kun, have you ever heard of rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors? Yeah, it's a simple game that's popular among the gods right now. Hestia was roping her naive prey, aka the bunny, into the game with the 3 different fist types that existed in the heavenly realm. He nodded his head frequently, as if impressed by a game that seemed to be the divine equivalent of the lower world's head or tails. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. That's interesting. Yeah, right? I just recently learned how to play it, so why don't we give it a try? With a certain glint in her eyes, Hestia stared at the prey in front of her. The bunny agreed with a smile on his face. By the way, if this game is played between a god and a child, there is a special rule that says the loser needs to give the winner a lap pillow. Forcibly fabricating her own rules, Hestia raised her fist. Alright, let's go Bell-kun. Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, this is bliss. Hestia put her relaxed face on Bell's lap as he was sitting on the sofa. Earning a wry smile from the boy, she rubbed her cheeks and was enjoying his slender thighs. From that day onwards, day after day, the goddess has been persistent, and was able to rip off 16 consecutive defeats from the boy. And well, that was all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, share the video and leave your opinion in the comments. I will be reading your opinions. Also join Discord, there we can talk about DanMachi and even other animes. The link is in the video description. Best regards and see you next time.